other thing that we got to do tonight is we got to go thoroughly into the Miss Piggy. we gotta go thoroughly into the Miss Piggy thing and how that ended up going. That didn't go so well for certain individuals, as it turns out. And I was happy to be there I was happy to be there to be a part of it. I don't know, it was fun, and I feel like I made a new friend as well, which was really good. It's nice to like make a new friend, which I did do in the process of doing this whole thing. What happened was the other day, Rippoffverse, having seen a photograph that I think Nerdrotic or somebody in his sphere posted from the Las Vegas meetup. These guys get together and do meetups and a party together. And I guess that's good. Good for them. But they post pictures of themselves hanging out, and somebody posted a picture of Nerdrotic, like, this is Nerdrotic's Angels. And he's got one girl here, one girl here, and kind of another girl in the front there taking the lead like this. And Rippoffverse zoomed in on that. I don't even know if Rippoffverse knew that was Gary's wife, but zoomed in on it, showed Piggy, compared it to a picture of a beloved Muppet, Miss Piggy. And this caused everybody to kind of freak out. And it's the new thing, man. It's the thing that everybody's talking about this week. And it's led to a lot of interesting discussions. All right, so let me just show you how this whole thing started, just so you know. This is the post in question that got everybody upset. Significant blowback from Cecil. Cecil, come on. And others after the Rippoffverse goes after. This is another thing that people say. You're going after. What is going after anyway? It sounds pretty aggressive. Going after family is low-life behavior. I'd say it's minor ridicule, maybe, mockery. It's not nice. I don't think it's a nice. Well, is it? I mean, it's Miss Piggy. Miss Piggy's a beautiful Muppet. She's a glamorous Muppet. She dresses like Marilyn Monroe. This is her dress like, is it How to Marry a Millionaire? I think it's How to Marry a Millionaire. Or Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend. I don't know. Or Gentlemen Prefer Blondes. That's what it is. She's dressed like Marilyn Monroe from Gentlemen Prefer Blondes. And put right next to a woman here who turns out that's Nerdrotic's wife, who a lot of people pretended is a private person. She's not. She's got her own YouTube channel. She apparently was responsible for an event a couple years ago. I remember this. This didn't leave my head. I still think about this sometimes, and it kind of makes me ill. She's responsible for this event, this occurrence, where one of the early Fandom Menace, it was like a Fandom Menace meetup somewhere at some bar. I've been to one of them. I know what these things look like. Fandom Menace meetup at a bar in Vegas, I think, as well. And everybody was there. Fans were there. A lot of YouTubers were there. And lo and behold, Jeff Hicks from a channel called World Class Bullshitters. By the way, Jeff Hicks, one of the founding members of the Fandom Menace. You would have to say he was one of the 3 High Council guys. I was one of them. Jeremy Griggs, one of the guys who really got the ball rolling, making content, making fun of Star Wars and the current garbage that Lucasfilm, Disney was pissing out. Jeff Hicks, legendary Fandom Menace YouTuber, shows up there with his girlfriend, Jessie Milestone, who was also, I would say, a founding, Fandom Menace member. I mean, if there's going to be a Fandom Menace get-together, those two should be there, I think, or they should be invited. But they weren't, because at one point, one of them or both of them said something critical of Gary or somebody. I don't even know what it was, but something mildly critical that got them kind of excommunicated. You say one thing about these people, and they just kind of lose their fucking minds, and they kind of ostracize you. And they have the power to do that. They have the power to ostracize you from an entire community, these people. So anyway, they show up. Jesse and Jeff show up at this get-together for the Fandom Menace. There were no invites. There were no guest passes. There were no bracelets. It was just, hey, we're throwing this shindig. You want to show up? You want to join the party? Come on over. Well, they had the audacity, I guess, to show their faces there. And this woman lost her mind and went over to them and fucking said, get the fuck out of here. And I remember watching Gary brag about this. Like, my wife, you don't fuck with Mrs. Nerdrotic. Threw them out of the party. And I've said this to you guys a few times. Like this, by the way, that behavior makes me sick. It really does. They should have been allowed to stay at the fucking party. You know, I don't really care. If I'm throwing some kind of a party, we're going to do For the Fans Fest. If somebody shows up there, if Yellow Flash shows up there, one of these pieces of shit that I don't like, he's welcome there. Because it's not about me. It's not my party. It's everybody's party. It's the entire, everybody's welcome to come. And what's the big deal? What, are you going to have too much fun? You're gonna start a fight? You're gonna start a riot? Have a couple of drinks, relax, and maybe everybody could kind of be friends, or at least be friendly for a night. But to actually throw them out of the party and humiliate them, and I remember seeing Jessie Milestone make a video crying about it, how she was really traumatized by it. You know, Jessie Milestone has her own issues, all this stuff. I'm not sticking up for her, but what I'm saying is, I thought that was pretty crass. I thought that was pretty bad. And so this whole, like, she's a nice lady and all, she's not in my opinion. You don't do that to people. I thought that was really fucking unclassy. And you know, I am all class. I would let anybody come to my For the Fans Fest. Of course I would. You know, you're welcome to be it. Don't cause any trouble. You cause trouble, you can go. We'll open the door with your fucking head. But, you know, if you're here, have a good time. Enjoy yourself. Have a drink. Be nice to people, all this stuff. So, anyway, this Miss Piggy comparison, which, I don't know, is an insult to which one, led to this today. This is terrible. This is just, you know, right on geeksandgamers.com. We have an essay. This is the gayest essay I think I've ever read in my entire life. I didn't know Geeks and Gamers was like this. I didn't know this was a thing that they would do. I can't imagine this. This is crazy. But they wrote an essay. Alex Gerzo did. So not Jeremy or, you know, I don't even know who this person is. We all know haters gonna hate. Oh, hold on. Social media user. Could you guys be any more vague than that? Just say fucking Rippoffverse. Rippoffverse, puppeteer, Scottish puppeteer, acidic Scottish puppeteer, Rippoffverse, targets? You guys gotta settle the fuck down. He just mildly roasted her by putting a picture of a puppet, which is something that he is an expert in. You guys know this. I mean, Rippoffverse is somebody who specializes in puppets. Target. Like, you know, targets. We got it. We got Miss Nerdrotic. Let's go all in, everybody attack. I mean, this is bullshit. Crazy language here. You guys have to settle down and start acting normal on the internet, like me. Do you guys say that I'm like a prime example of like somebody acting normal on the internet? You would say that, right? I hope so. Intergalactic Transmitter says, do they realize how gay this makes them look? There's all kinds of gayness going on the internet right now with regards to all of this. I recognize all of this stuff. I recognize all of this stuff from when I was being canceled at Marvel and DC. This behavior is, and I know everybody says it's cliche. Whenever they don't like someone, they go, oh, you know, you're an SJW. Those people don't know what SJWs are. They're just using that stuff as a slur. They don't understand what SJW tactics actually are. These are SJW tactics right here. Just, oh, I'm a victim. Oh, God, poor me, victimized. I'm so victimized, and this guy's evil, and give me a fucking break here. You know, it's like, this is really bad, dude. This is really bad for a website and an organization of individuals who regularly actually do target individuals. I mean, I would say that a one-time post saying, you look like a Muppet, is just a quick roast. These guys actually do target people. They choose. I mean, I agree with some of their targets, make no mistake, but they do actually target people. I think that's something that they do. They target Mrs. Nerdrotic and the Critical Drinkers family. Oh no! Whoa! Lo and behold, like seriously, you guys, if you're gonna dish it out, you've got to be able to take it. You got to be able to take it, and if you don't want, if you don't want to take it, then don't be on the internet. Don't be a presence on the internet. Don't have people know what you look like, know your name, and all this stuff. Nobody knows what John Malin's wife looks like. You know why? Because of this. That's why. Because we would no, we would not. We would not roast John Malin's wife. We have too much respect for him and the lovely alleged Mrs. Malin. We have no idea if she even exists. We all know haters gonna hate, but it still feels jarring when you see the extent to which some people will take that maxim. This past week saw the annual Friday Night Tights Las Vegas meetup, and it looked like a great time was had by all. But that didn't stop some social media malcontents from pissing and moaning online, which is par for the course. But this time, things got out of hand, with someone attacking Mrs. Nerdrotic, Gary's wife, and bringing the Critical Drinkers' children into a post on X. This person, and I'm sure there are more than just him, assuming the pronoun. Guys, take this down. Jeremy, take this down, dude. You cannot be associated with this fucking gayness. You cannot be associated with this. I promise you, this is gallons of fucking soy-tittedness. This is fucking geeks and gamers lactating. You guys are lactating like the sea monster from Last Jedi with this. You can't do this. Is anybody watching this website? This is something else. Let me keep reading, though. This person, and I'm sure there are more than just him, assuming the pronoun, has no qualms about going after the families of people he hates, which is more deranged than just leveling bile at the content creators themselves. Eric July made a short video on the subject, which you can watch below, and in which you can see the ex-post. I watched this already. Look at this. Eric July hanging out with Nerdrotic. No fun for you. All they did was, again, this is all about posting a picture of Nerdrotic's wife and posting a picture of one of the Muppets next to her. That's what this all is. Oh, you ruined all of our fun. This reminds me of the Dungeoneers a little bit. This reminds me a little bit of the Dungeoneers. Oh, we had such a good time, and then people online spoiled it. Why are they so depraved? We had a great time, and they ruined it. They ruined our good time. Eric confirms that this sort of thing has happened before, to the extent that people have recommended going after. I'm actually I'm gonna get mad before. We're only, how long are we into this? I've only been doing this for a few minutes now, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. I've been live streaming. I'm gonna start yelling already, guys. We, as a community, and I'm sorry, Papa EVS still looks at you as part of his community. You cannot become this. You don't get to become Zoe Quinn. You don't get to become Anita Sarkeesian. You don't get to become Brianna Wu. No matter how much you want to become Brianna Wu, I won't let you. And Jeremy, you need to stop these people from writing this shit. He said, going after grave sites. Grave sites. It's disgusting. And I don't blame Eric for wondering how the dislike of a comic book, an online movie review, or any other easily avoidable commodity could spur someone to that. Yeah, how does that happen? Anybody could avoid Squirrel Girl. Anybody could avoid America Chavez. Anybody could have avoided Captain Marvel the movie and Brie Larson in that movie. How the hell are people so mean to her that they're making fun of her feet, and they're making a ton of videos about Brie Larson and calling her a dyke whore, and all of this stuff, and they're just doing it for the money. How come these people can't just accept it? There are some people out there who like Captain Marvel. There are some people out there who like Brie Larson. These people cannot accept that there are some people out there who like America Chavez. Who else? Am I wrong? That's all this is. It wasn't made for you. We weren't made for you. This is unreal. Okay. Here's the rub. It's not about the specific things. It's about the culture. The term culture war is not an exaggeration. Some people are desperate to control it to make sure it's shaped in their image, and the popularity of people like Eric July and the Critical Drinker is a threat to that. Look at the Rippoffverse's success. It isn't Eric July making money that bothers most people, it's that he's illuminating an intense dislike for aspects of the culture that these people thought they'd successfully captured, namely the comic book industry. Hey, Rippoffverse, are you a big guy who's interested in maintaining the comic book industry, like controlling and shaping the comic book industry? Is that what it is? Is that why you posted a picture of Miss Piggy next to Nerdrotic's wife? I didn't know that. I didn't realize that that's what this was. Rippoffverse wants to control the indie comic space, fight the culture war. True fact, Rippoffverse doesn't even believe there is a culture war, really. Not the one that these guys are talking about. I talked to Rippoffverse about the culture war, and he said, yeah, it's not this. He's like, the culture war is just like control of creative outlets in Hollywood. It has nothing to do with like what these guys are saying. Beyond that, he's giving the dissatisfied an alternative. One that many are taking. Hey guys, if you don't like Spider-Man, how about Isom? How about Yaira? How about whatever the hell? That's why they're going nuclear. They can't abide the thought that people might go elsewhere for their entertainment. Could it just be that somebody saw a picture? They don't like Nerdrotic. And they saw a picture of the women around him and they thought one of them looked like Miss Piggy. Do you guys ever do this over at Geeks and Gamers? Do you ever make fun of people's appearances? Does that ever happen? Or have we imagined that? Do you make fun of people's appearances because you can't stand the power they have? Like, what is it that you're doing over there? These are all confessions. Tired of quality? Try Yaira, says Disruptive Innovator. Oh my God, guys. What am I going to do? How do I fix this with these guys? This is what happens. What is it that they say? They say any like movement that isn't explicitly right-wing inevitably becomes left-wing. Now they're victims. No, we want to control the culture war. And if you make fun of us and say we look like the Muppets, then clearly you're just going to ruin everything for us. And don't you understand? I feel bad for anyone who has to deal with this, but in the end, it's better to know your enemy and what he's capable of. He's capable, perhaps your enemy. Perhaps your enemy is capable of comparing you to a Muppet. Oh my God. That is the worst thing that I've ever heard. Well, Rippoffverse, of course, saw this reaction, and he has been suitably chastened. And I think he's decided to maybe make a change in his life and never do it. Oh, no, he didn't do that. He took Gary's picture and compared him to Fagin from Oliver. You ever see the movie Oliver? Fagin is this Jewish guy, the Jewish caricature, who lives in an attic somewhere and instructs criminal boys how to steal, how to pick pockets on his behalf. And I gotta say, like, there is some similarity. There's some similarity there. You guys should see the movie Oliver in order to, in order to fully enjoy this. Yeah, this is Fagin, not Fagin. Fagin. And there is some similarity. So there's this going on, which is just, I guess nobody's learning. Nobody is learning their lessons here. And then it led to this. This is, I guess, Nerdrotic's wife. Imagine being so desperate for a certain someone's attention that you pick a fight with his wife. You guys, I wake up to see they're still at it. Beyond pathetic. The harder they go, the worse they all look. Was he picking a fight with you, Melissa? Is that what it was? Okay. Rippoffverse says, I couldn't give a fuck about Gary. I commented on your photo. Simple as that. Not someone's wife, but directly at you. The amount of cope, strawmanning, blaming people I have no association with, and hypocrisy from yourself and others in your cringe corner of the internet has been fascinating and hilarious. I've not been still at it. You've literally tagged me in posts that I've then responded to. Put a photo of an ugly woman next to a photo of a Muppet, full SJW meltdowns and pearl clutching perfection. So it doesn't seem like he's learned anything. It seems like he's going to still persist with this, which listen, that's sure, that's his decision. At least now Katie can appreciate what Mrs. Nerdrotic is going through. Seriously though, I'd like your thoughts about when trolls were making fun of your autistic child. Not cool compared to this situation. 50,000 times worse, but because at least like a Mrs. Nerdrotic or whatever is an adult. But see, the thing about it is that she just like brushed it off. She kind of just said, it's really sad that you're coming after me. You just blah, 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 blah. Okay, that's it. That's all she needed to say. Quick thing of self-defense. The entire internet didn't need to white knight in her defense, which is what happened. Here's John Malin. So let me get this straight. Right as one comic creator, Ed Piskor, commits suicide for being canceled, 3 other comic creators are canceled from one of the biggest shows in the country. In addition, threatened to be removed by force if seen. Not a peep from anti-cancel culture comic influencers / grifters. John is starting to get it, by the way. Initially, John didn't want to be a part of this because he was just like, well, I want to be cool and let people... No, I'm like, John, what's going on right now? If you think it's about, people just wanting to make comics and be a part of, the indie comics world, that's not what this is. You're going to see pretty clearly what's going on here soon. And he's starting to see it. These people are not anti-cancel culture. They're not anti-woke. They are influencers, grifters, who want to make shit. And that's what they want to do. They just want to sell awful fake comics. They want to embarrass this scene. Then one of these influencers... Okay, so then one of these influencers gets a Miss Piggy posted next to a pic of his wife, and all hell breaks loose across multiple platforms. White Knights are back in season from a lady. These things are both awful. As a principal person, I have to strongly call both things out. But make no mistake, hypocrites, they are not even close to being equal in terms of fighting the actual culture war you claim to be here for, you posers. Comicsgate is on the front lines every goddamn day. We don't play it safe. We try to go where the fans are, not private dick riding sessions. Oh, and we create well-crafted alternative products instead of repeating 6-year-old talking points to milk our culture war audience. He's talking about fucking Eric July here. CG is the culture war, motherfuckers. The grifters reveal themselves by what they won't cover and what they will. Go back to riding Hollywood cock. John Malin. Boom! Love John Malin. He's always right. That is absolutely awesome.
It is I, the Nigger, and I need you to subscribe to, it says here, Clip Summer.